Now, this is a new thing. 2018. We created earlier this year for ANACS a special what's called key date holder. And key date means that is a thing that experts, myself, and other people agree is a coin that is absolutely, positively must have. It's a key date. This is $29.99.95. And I want to explain what this coin is. This is very important. This is last year's 2018 $25 gold, mint state 70, key date label. As I told you, one of the things I do is I track mintages. We track coins. We find coins that are special. This coin right here, by the information that we have been able to put together, out of nowhere, has become the single rarest mint state gold coin ever made by the United States government, regardless of denomination. $5, $10, $25, $50. From 1986 until today, this is the rarest mint state gold. There's proof gold and all that, but mint state regular issue gold.
Perfect gold coin.
Well, just gold coin, period. I'm not talking about perfect or otherwise. I'm talking about this is the rarest regular mint state gold coin ever made by the United States government.
But why?
Because there's fewer of them. It's mintage. How many they make? Oh, they made less of this than any other coin.
Really?
It's that simple.
No kidding.
Okay, there's no.
Why did they do such a limited mintage on it?
They just the way it works. They make them to order, and people just didn't order this coin for whatever reason. Huh. And so what we did is we did the math. We got in there, and it's rarer than the 90. It's rarer than the 91. Now those coins, which have always been the hallmark of collectability, in mint state 70, the 90 and 91 are like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 coins. This coin now supplants them as the rarest mint state gold coin made by the United States government. Not just in the 25s, not just in the 50s or the 10s or the 5s. This is the rarest. This is the rarest mint state gold coin by mintage. They made fewer of this than any other gold coin. There are literally dozens of gold coins in higher grade, in this grade, well, this is a perfect grade, that are going to sell for more than $24.99.95. Now, here's the key to this. You're ahead of the curve on this. Almost nobody knows about this coin. I've got all of them, and it's like 125 or 35 coins, whatever it is. I own them all. Before we came on the air, a friend of mine knows that I had these, and he called and said, I'll buy them all. I'll just write you a check. I'll take every single slot. Now, he didn't want to pay $24.99.95, but he was perfectly willing to pay $2,000 for all of them. So we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars he's willing to write a check for. And I'm going, not going to do it. I saved it for this airing. Right. I saved it to tell everybody, because I'm telling coin dealers, I'm telling collectors that nobody has any idea the rarity, collectability, and desirability that we have a new king of the American gold eagle. Wow. And that is a big deal. That is a big deal. It supplants the 90. It supplants the 91. The 2007 United States $50 gold coin.
What is that one just roughly
I think we sold those out last year at $5,000 or $6,000 when it became the rarest burnished coin that was out there. So when you have the rarest
gold, wait, let me repeat this because I can't believe it. Yeah. Of all the gold
mint state gold coins.
Mint state gold coins.
So which they make 4 every year since 1986. They make a $5, a $10, a $25, and a $50. From 1986 to 2018.
Regardless of the denomination.
Regardless of the denomination of those 4, so they've made 132 coins. Okay. Okay. Right. They made 132 coins. This is the rarest of those 132 coins.
Well, that's exciting.
Okay, it is very exciting. And it's more exciting because almost nobody knows about it.
Wait, and it's even more exciting because it's event priced. Because originally,
that was the big deal.
And it's really interesting, we could sell out all we have, and we don't have a lot, trust me. Right. No. At almost $3,000.
I have them all.
You literally have them all.
Go try to find this coin.
At 70 proof, or you have all the coins?
Well, in mint state 70. Well, go find them ungraded. I don't care. Good luck. A friend of mine who's one of the biggest dealers in the country, he says, I've been looking for them for 2 weeks. There's none of them. I can't find a single solitary coin.
No way.
Now, additionally.
Wait, just note that price is event price. When does our event end? That would be tonight.
Yeah,
so
that's right. So
if you're going for this one.
This is your chance to save $500. That's significant. Yeah. Now, here's the other thing. Key date. I've only ever put one other coin in a key date holder. That was the 2017. That is something that we put together with ANACS to determine that this is a special coin. It's the rarest of a coin. It's a coin that you absolutely, positively have to put into your collection. We have to date put one gold coin in a key date holder, and it's this coin, because it's the rarest mint state gold coin.
And you've only done key date on one other coin?
Yeah, one other, two other, one other proof coin, silver coin, and a burnished silver eagle that have key date on them. That's it. This is the only gold coin that is in a key date holder. Because what is a key date? It's one that has to be in your collection. It's a coin, for instance, that is the rarest mint state American silver eagle. It's the rarest gold eagle, I'm sorry, silver eagle, gold eagle that the United States government has ever made.
That's crazy.
There's guys, and like I said, when this buddy of mine called me and says, look, I have to have this coin because I have guys who want to sell, I have dealers that want to sell this coin for $3,000, $3,500, $4,000 because the coins that it competes against in terms of mintage are all $5,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000.
Right.
Nothing in this rarity level sells at $24.99. As a matter of fact, nothing in this rarity level sells at $29.99.95.
Well, let me ask you this too, and because it's 2018, the government has done every one they're going to do.
Yeah. They're done. That's how we know it's the end. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people think that this came in a little higher. But what happened was that when the government reported their 2018 sales, they didn't subtract the 2017s that they sold in 2018. Oh. And so it's like one of those things you have to be totally, completely, 100% in the know. I had to call the guys that buy all these coins. I said, so you got all these coins in 18. How many of them were 17s? Okay, 500 here, 300 there. Okay,
so
by
you
the time
subtracted out, you got the real number.
And I got the real number. And the real number on this makes this the rarest gold coin. And that's why nobody knows about it.
Let me ask
that's
you
why you're
this,
at the
and how many of those graded 70?
A few.
No, so that even makes it
we
rare.
We have to understand that the mintage on this coin now is like, I think what the total mintage ended up being is like 24,000 coins.
You're kidding.
I mean, that's all of them. That's not even the mint state 70. That's like all of them.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, when we're talking about this, we're talking about when you talk about the 1995 W, American Silver Eagle, that's the king of the American Silver Eagles. King of the American Silver Eagles. I mean, 31,000 in that coin. That coin in this condition is $30,000. It has no gold in it.
Oh my God.
Okay? It has no gold in it.
Wow.
It's a silver eagle. This coin right here is a gold eagle, and it is rarer than the 95W. It's rarer than the 90. It's rarer than the 91. And you take like the 91 $10 gold, which has half the gold. That coin in this condition is $6,000 or $8,000.
Wow.
This coin, to be able to get this coin at the event price of $24.99.95, you are ahead of the curve of every dealer, every wholesaler, every coin collector on the face of the planet. You have it in key date. They only exist. I'm the only one that has them in key date holders.
Oh, okay.
I'm the only one that has any coins to sell in Mint State 70 at the end of the day. It is a truly, utterly, completely spectacular coin, the rarity unprecedented in American numismatic history. This is the rarest Mint State gold coin from 1986 today, 132 different issues. This is the king of the Mint State American Gold Eagle.
That is fun.
By the way, half an ounce of pure gold in there too.
Yeah,
on top of the incredible rarity and absolute perfect condition.
Right, exactly. All right, so here's what you need to do. If you need to, go to hsn.com. That is the quickest way to be able to order that one before it's gone.